think we're live. Not 100% sure at this point. It's been a bit of a hilarious series of foibles. Not so much technically on the streaming end, but in terms of life. Jake and Pam and Maria, and Jake and Pam's new baby Mac, left St. John's yesterday morning, the eastern edge of Newfoundland, and they drove all day across the island, and then they took a ferry.
Audio. Okay, why no audio? Oh my god.
Technical difficulties. 1 second.
Okay.
We good to go?
Try it again.
All right. There was no audio for a second, I guess, but maybe can you hear this?
Apparently low.
All right. I think that
Oh, that's why. You turned all that stuff down.
Can you hear this? Can anyone hear that? Sounds like it's coming through okay. So I'm going to assume the audio is good and that you're all hearing this okay. There's been some developments in terms of Jake and Maria and Pam and baby Mac traveling from Newfoundland. To get here today, they were on the ferry. First, they took a big ferry from Newfoundland to Nova Scotia. That was 8 hours or so, and that went fine. And then they got on the little ferry from Nova Scotia to PEI, and that went fine until they got to the other side, and then the ferry people couldn't open the doors. So they've been stuck on the ferry for the last hour and a half or so, waiting for, I guess, a crane, maybe? There was a crane involved. There were some people with wrenches and I think blowtorches, I'm not sure, but anyway, so PEI, for those of you that don't know, PEI is a magical little island that's very, very difficult to get to sometimes because the ferries are constantly breaking down. This is a brand new ferry, but apparently the door seized up in the heat because it was built in Norway, where it doesn't get so hot, I guess. Anyway, I'm not sure where they're at right now. Can we do a little check-in with them?
I'm gonna.
And see what's happening with Jake and Maria?
The last I heard, they were just getting off the ferry.
Okay, we're gonna give them a little ring and see what's happening.
Hello.
All right.
How's it going?
It's good, Jake. How are you?
Good. They had just fixed the door, and we just pulled off the ferry.
Yay.
So we're gonna find a little space to park right here, and I'm gonna play you a little song.
Okay, we're gonna get an iPad song from Jake.
But
in just a minute.
A little pull off here, and
Okay, Matthias.
yeah, it's very hot. The apparently the Nordic-made ferry boat clamp did not hold up to the heat that we are experiencing here today. Yeah, sure. And it's eased up, so they could not open the front of the boat.
Okay, so Matthias, do you want to play us a little song while Jake finds a place to pull off and park?
Sounds great.
Okay, so Matthias is going to play a little song. Hi, everyone. And then we'll go to Jake on the iPad for a tune. All right.
Yes, definitely.
That's how you make technology work for you instead of the other way around. So, one interesting development is that it's 2025. And I looked at the calendar, the big calendar, the other day and realized that it's very soon going to be 20 years since the album TikTok was released, which was the first kind of official Burning Hell record. And that is going to technically be in 2027. So I'm trying to get ahead of the game. And what I want to do, TikTok never came out on vinyl because that was kind of before people were really buying vinyl again. And I had zero fans. So I didn't think about doing anything more than making a few CDs. So what I think I'm going to do next year is get my old friend Jill Stavely, who recorded the original version of TikTok, to produce a brand new Taylor's version, if you will, of the album. And I'm going to redo all the songs in new ways, in ways that I like better than the old record. I don't really, to be honest, love listening to that album. I mean, I don't love listening to any of my records that much. It's weird to listen to your own music sometimes, but I really like the songs themselves. So I want to kind of redo them, approach them in new ways. And so to that end, I've been relearning them, and I'm going to play you one of those right now. This is my last will and testament. I'll play it. It's a song about the wishes that I had at least almost 20 years ago. I wrote this song and most of this album on this little ukulele here. Let's see how it sounds. Yeah, so this is what I wanted 20 years ago at my funeral. When I die, bury me naked with my ukulele. I played it daily when I was alive, so bury me with it when I die. And when I die, throw me a party, invite all my friends. I loved my friends when I was alive, so throw me a party when I die. And when I die, play my favorite song, that song with all those saxophones. I never liked saxophones when I was alive, but play that song when I die. And when I die, don't be too sad, but a little bit sad would be nice. So if your eyes are red, honey, that's alright. Don't worry about me, I'll be fine in my dirt and gravel bed. 'Cause when I die, I won't be sad, I'll just be dead. So when I die, I could have done a bigger one. Bury me naked with my ukulele. I played it daily when I was alive, so bury me with it when I die. And then other people sing, bury him naked with his ukulele when he dies. Bury him naked with his ukulele when he dies. Bury him naked with his ukulele when he dies. Bury him naked with his ukulele when he dies. Let's go to Jake Nicoll and Pamela McKenzie and Maria Petal on FaceTime.
Yes, thank you. I am here with Jake Nicoll and Pamela McKenzie and Mac and Maria Petal on FaceTime. Looks like they've stopped somewhere with poor connection because we are not getting a very good signal.
Oh, the signal is bad. Uh-oh.
Yes, it's quite bad.
Oh, no. Uh-oh. Well.
Okay.
I have a new plan.
We could move somewhere else. We could just go move somewhere. We'll go move somewhere else. Or here.
Just drive here.
Just drive here, guys. Just come here.
Okay.
It'll be the cherry on the top of this. You'll be
This is going to be an endurance live stream for me. I'm going to play as much as I possibly can. It takes about an hour and 10 minutes to get from where they are to where we are. So buckle up. Buckle up. Let's do this.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Safe drive, sweeties.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Sometimes ferries don't work. That's the lesson here. They've had a really crazy long journey already, with a baby also, a new baby. So, they left St. John's yesterday morning. It's a 10-hour drive across the island, 8 hours on the ferry to Nova Scotia, another few hours to the ferry on PEI. And then honestly, like, this poor little island of ours has been really struggling with the ferry system. And this was the new hope. This new ferry, Norwegian built, was the new hope, and it just started. They just started running it. So, not a great first test of that system. It's a bit of a comedy of errors. The last ferry caught on fire, then they fixed it, and then they ran it into the dock and broke it again. So it hasn't been so good. So anyway, but Jake and Pam and Maria and Mac, they are gonna get here in about an hour and 10 minutes, and that'll be the finale of the live stream. They'll come in and they'll play a song right here where I'm sitting, and it's going to be incredible. But back to TikTok, for those of you watching at home. So TikTok, when I put it out in 2007, I didn't have any ambitions other than just recording these songs and getting them out there in the world at some point. I'd never really played a show at that point outside of Peterborough, Ontario, where I was living at the time. And at that moment, I didn't really have any... I guess I had some desire to do that and to start doing music more seriously, but it was really a moment in my life where I was just doing it kind of to document the songs. And I love the memory of making that record, but I really do not love the record itself. But then listening back through the songs themselves, I kind of think there's some good stuff in there. And there's certainly at least a few songs that we still play a lot. It Happens in Florida is on there. The Things That People Make is on there. And this one is on there. This is the last song on TikTok. And I would say it's the only one on the album where I still I listen to the production of it and I really love it. And I think maybe the reason for that is because we went very simple with it. And I'll try and do this one. It's called 99 Months. Days feel like weeks on days like this, and weeks feel like being repeatedly kicked in the ribs. But hey, 3 cheers and hip hip hooray. We're not dead, or not all dead anyway. It's astonishing, but let's get on with it. The bars are still open and there's a decent band in town. Let's get drunk and act stupid and go home and sleep until 2. When I agreed to give the gift of time, I didn't know just how much I'd need to give. But no matter how much I give away, there's always some more where that came from. So I say the hours march from my wristwatch to my pocket in a line. I have time, I have time, I have time, I have time. But there's only 30 days or 31 to separate 99 from 100 little months. Late 20s, early 30s, late 30s, early 40s, while the tick-tock goes on. We carry on until we're gone. and our brains go all gooey, and our bodies are trampled on by the tiny feet of squirrels collecting acorns on our graves. That's 99 Months. I remember writing that song and thinking like, wow, that song's got some $10 chords in there, and it actually took me a little bit of time to remember some of those $10 chords. And it's funny thinking back to almost 20 years ago, the way I wrote songs was very different. In some ways, I was writing like much simpler songs than I am now. And then in some cases I was using chords that I and ideas, melodic ideas or whatever, that I've totally kind of abandoned or moved away from. And maybe I'll play an example of that now. This is a song called Different Things. It's kind of midway through TikTok, and it has a lot of these chords in it, these diminished chords. I used to use those all the time because they sound pretty fancy. They're very easy to slip into a song, but I don't know. We go through cycles, we go through phases and stages, as Willie Nelson would say. Anyway, I always kind of like this one, and this is an example of a song on the original album. That when I listen to it now, it's like almost good. It's almost there, but it's super slow. It's crazy slow. And my voice sounds terrible. I've never been a good singer, as we all know. I've never been trained. I don't really know what I'm doing. But when I listen back to the early Burning Hell records, and I listen to the stuff that we've made more recently, I at least can be like, well, I'm improving. So there's hope. This one I really haven't played in a long time, so. What if the world was made out of gold? Would it be bought? Would it be sold? Would we invest it for when we grew old? If the world was made out of gold? What if people were made out of glass? Would they be guaranteed to last? Would they shatter when airplanes flew past? If people were made out of glass? If things were made out of different things, would we get used to it eventually? Would we stand around, stare at the ground, and say, hey, that looked different yesterday? What if the city was made out of beer? Would we cry 5% tears? Would we drink it in less than a year? If the city was made out of beer? What if my heart was made out of glue? Would there be anything we could do? Would you stick, and would it stick to you? if my heart was made out of glue. If things were made out of different things, would we get used to it eventually? Would we stand around, stare at the ground, and say, that looked different yesterday? That's different things. One of the issues on TikTok, or with TikTok, in terms of redoing it, is that the original album is too long to press on vinyl. It's, I think, clocks in at around 51 or 2 minutes, and ideally you want about 10 to 15 minutes less than that for a good quality vinyl record. So initially I thought, like, well, if I'm gonna do this, the first idea was actually just to press it, because it had never been pressed, the original thing, and be like, well, I have to cut at least a couple songs. I didn't really want to do that, even though there's a couple songs I like a lot less than the others, but I didn't really want to do that. Then I started thinking about those songs, and most of them are way slower than I'd like them to be. They've got ridiculously long intros in some cases, outros that are, absurdly long. It Happens in Florida, I think, is like 4.5 minutes or something on TikTok. It's a 2-minute song. Anyway, so I'm having a lot of fun just starting to think now about how to kind of rearrange things. In some cases, I'm going to change some lyrics that I don't really like, that haven't held up to my scrutiny over time. And I'm going to share this whole process as I go, starting realistically. I'm not going to start actually digging into this until the winter. And then I'm going to hopefully record the album over the winter and spring this coming year, so that we have lots of time to release it for the 20th anniversary of TikTok. Anyway, I'm going to be sharing that whole process on my Patreon. Some of you are coming here from my Patreon. Thank you for joining us. Me. By us, I mean me. Thanks for being there on Patreon. Some of you are coming from elsewhere. You don't even know what Patreon is. Well, let me tell you, it's a great platform that I've been using now for 6 or 7 years. And I've been really enjoying it immensely as a primary sort of way to share what I do kind of behind the scenes with other folks. I hate social media more and more as the years go by, and I've deleted Instagram from my phone. I'm not on Facebook hardly ever anymore. I deleted Twitter ages ago. I can't do it. My brain is too full of other stuff. I hate it. It's great for some people, and that's nice. I'm happy for you if you're one of those people. But I do love Patreon. I still love it as a way to kind of connect directly with people. And so I'd like to encourage you to check out my Patreon page if you haven't before. There's an easy link that you can click on here. Just click on patreon.com/MatthiasCom. Just click right there on the screen. It should work. I've been told that this is a new technology that YouTube has been offering. Anyway, so just click right on there and you can check it out. You can join for free, but I don't actually post anything on the free tier there. But you can join for as little as like a couple bucks a month, and it's a lot of fun. At least I hope it is for other people too. I think it is. People seem to tell me it's fun for them. It's a lot of fun for me, and I'll be sharing that whole kind of TikTok journey as I do it, along with all kinds of other stuff coming up. Back to TikTok. I hope you're enjoying this. I'm having a lot of fun. I haven't played these songs in ages. And I challenged myself when we sort of found out, like about an hour before the live stream started, when we found out that Jake and Maria and Pam and Mac were stuck on the ferry. I was like, you know what? I'm going to play all the songs I possibly can from TikTok. So let me try another one here. This is a song about a bird. I wrote this song with this ukulele on the beach in Corpus Christi, or near Corpus Christi, Texas, back in the early 2000s. I didn't know anything about birds at that point, and I was surrounded by all sorts of what I was calling seagulls, which is, like birding 101. That's the first thing you learn, is that there's no such thing as a seagull. And I wish I could go back to that moment now and help my younger self identify all those different seagulls. But alas, time marches on, and this song is a remnant of that moment. Oh, little seagull, eating piles of trash, put down that rotten crayfish, spit out that bottle cap, and tell me all the places you've been that I may never see. Have you been to Corpus Christi on the Gulf of Mexico? Have you been up to the islands in Lake Ontario? Did you shit on all the fat men driving speedboats that they love more than their wives? Have you been out to Hollywood? And I really wonder if you bought a map to find the houses where the movie stars live. Did you peck out the eyes of actors as they lay out on their deck chairs getting tanned? Why don't seagulls ever sing? Are you too busy doing other things? Just one flap of your seagull wings, and the world is destroyed. Well, you've been all across this great big baby landscape. If you had little seagull hands, I'd give you a handshake and watch you fly away from everything and disappear into the sky. Oh, little seagull, eating piles of trash, put down that rotten crayfish, spit out that bottle cap, and tell me all the places you've been that I may never see. I'm not sure if that's the original key that I did it in. One thing that is very different about me now is that my voice, back then I really hadn't found my voice, as they say, and I was singing everything a lot lower than I really should have been. I can sing, I can go low when I want to, but I was going way too low, and I think that song was an example of that. But speaking of birds, I did promise bird trivia, and I would never want to disappoint anybody. I've got some very, very basic, easy bird trivia questions to give to you. If you're ready to play bird trivia, I've also got some fabulous prizes. I'll show them to you now. I found a couple copies left of the illustrated guide to the birds of Garbage Island. I thought they were all gone, but there's a couple copies left. So one person will be getting one of these in the mail. Also, I thought these were all gone, but we made these Ghost Palace cutouts to go along with the first 200 records of Ghost Palace that got sold. And there's a few extra copies of this too. So someone's going to get one of these in the mail. We've got beautiful Fuck the Government, I Love You patches. And the grand prize. Also, something I thought was gone, I was sure was gone. We made these old shirts, not old, we made these shirts. Judd Haynes designed this shirt. It's a long sleeve Burning Hell shirt. This is I don't know how well this comes across on the video, but it's a beautiful multicolor print, and on the sides, on the sleeves, it says, "God knows we never got anywhere, although we went everywhere," which is a line from some song of ours. And then on the back, there's, at the time we printed it anyway, this is all the places we'd ever played in the tiniest font imaginable. Anyway, so I'll send this out to someone. I have a medium, a large, and an extra large, and that's all that exists. I want to save one for the archive, but hopefully if whoever wins that, it'll be the fourth question, will fit into either a medium, large, or extra large. So Ariel is outside on her iPad monitoring the chat. So the first person to correctly answer the question in the chat gets the prize. Let's start with an easy one for a simple little, I'll send you a postcard and include one of these Fuck the Government, I Love You patches. Are you ready? How many birds are signs in the Chinese zodiac, and what are they? First person to correctly guess that answer wins. So just pop it in the chat. Ariel will take your information. I don't actually know how this is going to work, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, so you're going to get one of those. I'll do a song, and then we'll come back and have another question, another trivia question. Let's try this one. I'm going to try it on ukulele. No, I'm not. That's crazy. These days, there's a lot in the news. I try not to spend too much time on the news, but it's hard to avoid. And there's a lot in the news these days about the current sort of fracturing of the once, very bro-like alliance between certain leaders of certain countries and certain tech billionaires. And it's funny to think, well, it's not funny at all, actually. That's the wrong word. But it's strange for me to think about how much has changed in terms of the way that money shapes politics, and how much has stayed the same. A lot has stayed the same. I wrote this song a long, long time ago when I had a very silly idea to write a whole series of songs about famous conferences. And my idea was that I would write an album about that, and I would make a coffee table book with historical information and photos and things like that about the conferences. Anyway, I only ever got to 2 songs. The Berlin Conference, which is on the album Baby, I think, and this one, which is the first one, a song called Bretton Woods. This is an example of a song on TikTok that's way too slow and way too low. And it should sound a lot more like this, I think. So the Bretton Woods Conference was sort of the birth of the World Bank and the IMF. You can read along on Wikipedia as I sing it. An interesting, more current brush with stardom related to the song. Back when I had Twitter, someone tagged me because I guess Stephen Malkmus posted on Twitter that he wanted to write a song about the Bretton Woods Conference, and he wondered if anyone ever had. And then someone sent him this song, and he responded, "That guy sounds like Bill Callahan," which I think he probably meant it as a compliment. Bretton Woods, we're gonna have a meeting at Bretton Woods. Trees line the street. There's bound to be lots of good things to eat at Bretton Woods. New Hampshire is lovely in the fall. The drive was nice, but rather long. A system for your wallet will make a system for everyone's wallet. Alright. A system for government wallets. Now the hardest thing is thinking of just what to call it. New Hampshire is lovely this time of year. The drive was nice. And now the gang's all here. We drank some drinks and we had some meetings. Designer socks and cocktail weenies. Alright. Global finance and gin and tonic. We shaped the future of economics, and we played some more golf. New Hampshire is lovely this time of year. The drive was nice. And now the gang's all here. And the bankers say, I can't get enough of the green stuff. 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 I can't get enough. And then the hippies say, I can't get enough of the green stuff. I can't get enough of the green stuff. I can't get enough of the green stuff. stuff. I can't get enough of the green 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 stuff. I can't get enough. Back in the early days of the Burning Hell as a live band, this was always like an epic outro, and it was kind of like the maximalist era of the band, and there were keyboards and cellos and glockenspiels and bass guitars and accordions and all kinds of stuff like that, and it was fun. It was always very fun to do the song live. Anyway, Bretton Woods. Let's do some more bird trivia. I just, by the way, I'm concentrating 100% on my performances. This is actually kind of challenging to remember all these songs. So legitimately, I am concentrating hard, but I'm also I'm trying to focus on you out there in this way. So I'm not looking at the chat. Ariel is though. So hopefully we'll get some updates on that at some point, maybe when she comes in. I don't know what's going to happen. This is all so different than what we had planned. We thought, oh, well, Jake and Pam and Maria will be here nice and early, and we'll all just like sit and we'll, trade places. And so we're just flying by the seat of our pants a little bit. That's okay. I love that. The next person is going to win an autographed, I just decided I would autograph it if you want that, copy of the Illustrated Field Guide to the Birds of Garbage Island. I think it's like one of 3 left in the world. If you can correctly answer the following question, are you ready? Once arguably the most numerous bird species in America, which extinct species was hunted and trapped down to a single individual named Martha, who died in the Cincinnati Zoo in 1914? A bird I've always wanted to write a whole song about. Maybe I will. So, first correct answer gets it. I think at this point we can go back to the original question. I can give you the answer to that one. I'm hoping that someone got it. How many birds in the Chinese zodiac? Just one, the rooster. Anyway, more bird trivia coming up. We've got 2 more questions for you, but I'm going to do another song. I'll try this one on ukulele. This is a song that I wrote like in, I think, the year 2000, and it appeared on a very, very early kind of home recording alongside It Happens in Florida and a couple other ones. The album was called Tortured Lost Souls Burning Forever, and it was handed out to approximately 20 of my friends, and that's it. Anyway, so I do have an old version of it somewhere. But when I went to make TikTok, I sort of rescued a couple songs from that project, and this is one of them. And for a long time, this was like a real staple of the Burning Hell's live sets. I love the buildings and the pavement and the malls. I love the factories and I love the rubber balls. I love the ukuleles and the sound of spinning tape. I love the things that people make. I love the tricycles, I love the synagogues. I love the Lego and I love the Lincoln Logs. I love the fishing lures and I love the plumber snakes. I love the things that people make. I love the Ginsu knives, I love the garden gnomes. I love the way that people decorate their homes. I love the ovens and the casseroles they bake. I love the things that people make. I love the bowling balls and I love the little wind-up teeth. I love the manhole covers and I love the Christmas wreaths. I love the backyard goldfish ponds. I love the artificial lakes. I love the things that people make. 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 I still like that song. I like all these songs. It'll be fun to revisit them. And for those of you on Patreon, I'm gonna hopefully get some of your feedback and input once I start kind of digging into that process of revisiting them. Because what I want to do ideally is just kind of like not rewrite them entirely, but start from a totally fresh perspective and imagine that I'm recording them for the first time. There are things about the original recording that I find still charming, or certain melodic parts that I'd like to save, but for the most part I want to take a completely new approach to them. Maybe though in some cases I shouldn't. Maybe there's like a song or two that I should kind of do exactly the same way or as close as possible. Anyway, so Patreon folks, I'll be getting into that in the winter. I would like to start it earlier, but realistically we've got a bunch of touring coming up this summer and into the autumn, and then another exciting project that I can't tell you about yet. At least I can't tell the general public, but I am going to post about it on Patreon very soon. And that's going to take up a lot of our October and November. I'm really excited to tell you about this one, by the way. And then, so I'll start digging into the TikTok stuff probably in January. So lots of time. Go back and listen to that album. And don't judge me too harshly. I was still finding my voice. Let's have another bird question. I think the winner of this one will get, I'll autograph it on the back, so I won't wreck it, but I'll send you a postcard and a copy of this Ghost Palace cutout. This is pretty cool. Actually, I've got one already cut out. So this is what it looks like when you cut along the lines there, and then you can set it on like a shelf or whatever, and it stands up like this. This was designed by our friend Noah Bender in Newfoundland. He's a very, very talented artist, and I'm so pleased with it. All right, so the winner of this next question, the first person to correctly guess the answer. These bird questions are honestly very easy. I hope you're finding them easy too. This one though, I mean, come on. I'm almost embarrassed to ask you this. Which flightless member of the pigeon and dove family, you probably get it already, formerly found only on the island of Mauritius, do I need to read the rest of it? Was driven extinct within 100 years of its first mention in the European historical record. Come on. Which flightless member of the pigeon and dove family, formerly found only on the island of Mauritius, was driven extinct within 100 years of its first mention in the European historical record? Is this game for kids? I don't know. Anyway, you'll get that one. The answer to the last question, of course, the most numerous bird species in America that was hunted to extinction. The last one was Martha, etc., etc. Died in the Cincinnati Zoo in 1914. That was the passenger pigeon. All right. Ariel's monitoring the chat. Hopefully we'll figure out how to get in touch with you and get your addresses and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to play another song. We'll have one more bird question very shortly. I've done a lot of the songs that I know how to play from TikTok. There are two more. There are more than that, but there are two more that I think I can play. This song I did as a duet on the album with Jill Stavely, my very old friend who was in the Burning Hell for the first 3 records and many tours, and it's been really fun to talk to her about how we're gonna revisit this album. I think I mentioned this already, but I'm gonna bring her on as a producer. I used to play, I started playing music with Jill when we were in high school, and we used to busk on the streets of Kingston, Ontario, late at night after the bars were getting out for Queen students, and we used to play Alanis, a lot of Alanis, Cranberries, Neil Young, all kinds of stuff. I was kind of just like, mostly just on guitar, but, and because Jill has a tremendous voice, so she would sing, but then once in a while we would do an old Irish song. I'm not gonna play. I won't play any of those. But I've been playing music with Jill for a long time. In any case, that's my point. And this was a lot of fun to record. I wrote the song in with the intention of Jill singing it with me, and we did it on the record. And when I listen back to it now, I'm like, God, why didn't anybody tell me that I can't sing that low? I can't. I'm gonna sing it in the original key, a full octave higher than I did it back then. I think that singing low, maybe other people have this experience, but singing in a low register is a way of being shy. And I was shy. I was very shy back then. For all the stars and parking lots, for all the awful bands, for all the coins and plastic toys left buried in the sand, for all the classic arcade games, for all the arcade freaks, for all the boring Sundays that measure out the weeks, convenience stores and sliding doors, gray blocks and green spaces, little bits of distant wars in unpronounceable places. For all the boys in baseball caps, for all the hockey rinks, for all the lonely coat-check girls, for all the girly drinks, for all the high-paid business clowns, for all the jobless mimes, for all the boys I chased around when I still had the time. Convenience stores and sliding doors, gray blocks and green spaces, little bits of distant wars in unpronounceable places, for all the stars and parking lots, for all the awful bands, for all the coins and plastic toys left buried in the sand. All the stars and parking lots. Are we out of bird questions? No, I think there's one more. There's one more. Okay. This is a good one. Easy too, but not quite as easy as the last one. All right, so the winner of this question, because it's kind of the hardest of the four, although it's not that hard, is going to win, hopefully, your size, but it must be medium, large, or extra large, because I have one of each exactly, of this long sleeve Burning Hell shirt with all the places we've ever played on the back. Where'd that question go? Nope. Yes, here we go. All right, are you ready? This is the grand prize. This is the ultimate finale. So first person in the chat, Did you get this one? Ariel's monitoring out there. Long considered symbols of happiness, what backyard birds are represented in North America by eastern, western, and mountain species? Long considered symbols of happiness, what backyard birds are represented in North America by eastern, western, and mountain species? So first correct answer wins the shirt. The last answer to the last question, of course, before that was the dodo. Great bird. Great bird. R.I.P. I'm going to play one more song from TikTok before I branch out to newer stuff. I'm on kind of a marathon now, just waiting for Jake and Pam and Maria and baby Mac to arrive. They should be here soon? I think they should be here pretty soon. This might be perfect. They'll swoop in as the grand finale. It'll be awesome. Jake has so much great new music. They've had quite a journey, so please stick around. This song, I think, is the second song on TikTok, and it became a serious staple of the live set for years. Well into like 2014, 2015 or so. We were still playing the song all the time, and it turned into like, by the end, Nick Ferrio was playing bass on it, and he would do like a limbo breakdown in the bridge where he would go out into the crowd and like put his bass neck like this, and people would limbo under it, and we would go lower and lower and lower. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. This is one of those ones, one of the rare ones on the album that I think I kind of like to keep the vibe similar to how it is, but maybe a little bit faster. It's quite slow. Nope. This one I might need to change the key. Let me see if I can do it. I'll try low first. Here we go. I was born much too early. Yeah, low. Surely, surely, prematurely. I already knew that I wanted more. By the time the placenta hit the floor. And it wasn't too much later, lying inside my incubator, clenching my tiny newborn fists, trying to slit my little newborn wrists. It's terrible. So I went to see the rabbi. I said, Rabbi, why? He said, I've read the Torah and I've read the Talmud. You get born, you meet some people, and then you die. Everybody has a tiny pope inside their head. Go forth and multiply. That's all the tiny pope ever says. 'Cause after all is said and done, from womb to tomb and sperm to worm, well, there's nothing much else to do. So you got to do what you've got to do. So dance, 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 and romance. You just can't help but dance. Dance, 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 and romance. Take off your pants and dance. That was Dance 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 from TikTok. So I think I played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 songs out of 13 from TikTok, which is not bad considering I just started remembering them a couple hours ago in preparation for this, as a sort of like, oh no, what do we do? Jake and Pam and Maria are stuck on the boat thing. So those songs are in there. They're in there. The other ones, I would need a little more time. Ariel said right before I started, you should do all of the songs from TikTok. And there's a few that I definitely can't do yet, but I will. Anyway, so once again, just click this link if you would like to be part of that journey and many others. Patreon.com/MatthiasCon. Please join me on there. Thanks for playing Bird Trivia. I'm going to play one more song by myself, and then I'm going to ask Ariel to come inside and join me for one. I'm not sure how our timing is. I don't know where Jake and Pam and Maria are. They're en route for sure. They must be almost here. We do have Ruthie to consider also. She will have a certain amount of things to say when they arrive. So I don't know how we're going to work this out, but we're going to work it out somehow. I'm going to do one more on my own first. And then I'll call Ariel in. Anyway, we have this new record, Ghost Palace, that we're touring. Let's see, where are we going? We're going to Western Canada in a couple weeks. And then we're going to the UK in late August. I'm trying to remember the first date. It's London, I think, on the 26th maybe of August. And then we're going to Brighton, Ramsgate, Norwich, Hull, Edinburgh, Glasgow, Newcastle, Hebden Bridge, Manchester, Coventry, Southampton, Bristol, Cardiff, Nottingham, and Sheffield. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Anyway, I'm very excited about that. We're also going to be touring with John Nicoll, who is a wonderful, incredible songwriter and performer. I'm so excited to introduce those of you in the UK to his music. Maybe you know it already. He's great. One of the most original songwriters and performers out there. Anyway, I'm very excited about that. So I thought maybe I'd play a song from Ghost Palace, because I'm thinking about those songs. This is the last song I wrote for the album, and it ended up being the title track in a way. It's after midnight in the Ghost Palace, 50,000 satellites blinking in the sky. Rhinestones shining on the cape of the Aurora Borealis. That galactic magician never says goodbye. There's a hole in my heart, the size of my whole heart. Voices bouncing hard off the walls in the hallways, surprising how deafening emptiness can be. I forget a lot, but I'll think of this always, remembering a place that won't remember me. There's a hole in my heart, the size of my whole heart. Placeholder, a heart-shaped lorem ipsum. Nothing fancy, just a rough facsimile. Where I'm headed, I won't know what I'm missing. They say in space, no one can hear you dream. There's a hole in my heart, the size of my whole heart. 300,000 years. 300,000 years. Well, that just sounds like words. Goodbye, Ghost Palace. And goodbye, cool world. Please welcome Ariel Sherritt to the stage.
Thank you, thank you.
I'm gonna move this stuff so you can sit. Oh, you can sit there also. Do you want me to pass you your axe though?
Yes, please.
All right.
Hi, everyone. It's been nice hanging out in the chat.
Has it been chatty?
It's been very chatty.
Oh, good.
Yes.
I'm so glad. Did you get people? Were there winners?
There are winners. Yep.
Great. Were there arguments?
No, I just messed up once, but no arguments.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, everyone makes mistakes.
I think Ted deserves a little treat.
We'll give Ted a treat. Ted deserves a treat no matter what.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, Ted. Yeah, we'll send Ted a treat. I don't know what the context is, but
I'll fill you
Ted
in.
deserves a treat. So we don't know where they are, right? Oh.
That could just be because she's left outside. They said 34 minutes ago, probably about 20 minutes ago.
They said 34 minutes, 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do a couple.
34. Yeah, I
All
said
right.
go.
I love math. Let's do a couple songs.
Okay.
Yeah. Ready? Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4. The year was 2020, and the humans were doing too well. For instance, take the interesting case of Mrs. and Julie Patel. She worked at the Easy Days supermarket, which gave her no special enjoyment. It was not a good job, but it was a job, and she was grateful to have the employment. It was a Wednesday, but to Mrs. Patel, it was a work day just like any other. She was preoccupied thinking of how she felt guilty about not spending time with her mother. When she arrived at her workplace, she stopped at the sight of something that glittered and gleamed. In place of her usual register was a shining self-checkout machine. Then out of her normally well-mannered mouth came words like fucking and hell. And that was the start of the terrible tale of the robots versus Mrs. Patel. The robots versus Mrs. Patel. Well, her boss was a pencil mustache with a pulse. His eyes traveled south like Vasco da Gama, and he leered and he jeered and he said with a sneer, Mrs. P, let's not have any drama. This is secure checkout, Autobot 1000, Scab 1000 if you prefer. You'll be training our customers to use it, dealing with problems that may occur. Well, Mrs. Patel thought of strangling him with the lanyard that held her ID card. But she needed the work even more since her husband lost his job as a security guard. And she was spending her evenings in night school, learning coding and programming skills. One day soon enough, she thought to herself, I'll get off this wage slavery treadmill. So she opened Scab 1000's manual to page 1 and thought to herself, we'll see who will win in this battle I call the robots versus Mrs. Patel. The robots versus Mrs. Patel. Helping customers learn how to use the machines with which they would soon be replaced was an irony from which Mrs. Patel and her colleagues found they just could not escape. Some plotted sabotage, some dreamed of a union, but Mrs. Patel knew the truth. When robots and bosses find common causes, there's nothing poor workers can do. Or that's what she thought until one fateful evening in her late night advanced coding class, when she learned about strategies known to the nerds as adversarial attacks. So she coded a way to trick the machines to check out items that didn't exist, and to charge the fake shopping to her boss's account before he knew what he missed. So a little algorithm helped her bankrupt the system and the rest of the franchise as well. And in a way you could say that the robots joined forces with a hero called Mrs. Patel. The hero called Mrs. Patel. My bad. My bad. Now she's revered as a binary Robin Hood throughout the subcontinent. The workers all dance in Capitol's ashes and sing of her accomplishments. And she and her team of rebellious machines are redistributing the wealth. All you bosses and bankers had better beware of the robots and Mrs. Patel. The robots and Mrs. Patel. Big finish. Beautiful. I just had an idea.
Okay.
Why don't we do one more song together?
Yeah.
And then you go back outside and... Can you hear Ruthie out there?
They probably can't.
What, you might be able to. These mics are pretty good. Jake designed these microphones,
Yes.
by the way. There's one more you can't see up here. It looks like the same as this. Anyway, beautiful mics. Ruthie's barking. She's very upset that we're inside and she is outside. But that's why she's outside. So maybe you go out after this song and just check on whether or not they're here. Mm-hmm. And we'll have to figure out, I don't know what's going to happen. Are they all going to troop in at once? What's going to happen? Are they just going to take my place?
We're going to find out.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
Well, let's do one more together. Can I surprise you with one?
Sure. Okay. Are you going to play an instrument or just sing? I'll just sing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's keep it easy.
Yeah.
This is a song called Things That People Make Part 2 from the album Baby. Like the things we don't have names for, you're the dirt that makes the ground.
Like a broken vacuum cleaner, you just push the dirt around.
Let's not fight, we don't have all night.
You're right, you be the bait, and I'll be the bite.
No?
Yeah, no, I like it.
It's a good groove.
Yeah. Okay.
You be the dictator, I'll be the oppressed.
You be the third world and I'll be the west.
You'll be the last giant panda bear, I'll be the last giant panda bear sperm.
You be the baby bird, I'll be the regurgitated worm.
You be the shooter girl and I'll be the bar.
You be the frat boy, I'll be the guitar.
You'll be the lost kid at the zoo, I'll be the ice cream on your chin.
You be the newborn baby, be looking for a way back in.
Thank God that I got the things that I got, but a lot of things I got are things I never knew I needed till I met you and you taught me a thing or two about things. Things like love and buildings, things like death and happy birthday cake, things like how to give and never take, things like the things that people make. construction, and I'll be destruction.
You be the worker, I'll be the means of production.
You'll be the leftist student punk, I'll be the accountant you'll become.
You be the minivan, I'll be the jeans you think make you look young.
Thank God that I've got the things that I've got, but a lot of things I got are things I never knew I needed till I met you, and you taught me a thing or two about things. Things like love and buildings, things like death and happy birthday cake, things like how to give and never take. Thank God that I got the things that I got, but a lot of things I got are things I never knew I needed till I met you, and you taught me a thing or two about things. Things like love and buildings, things like death and happy birthday cake, things like how to give and never take. Things like the things that people make. Ariel, share it, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think Ruthie
Needs my attention?
She might. Well, do you think we could get away with one more song together?
I think we could.
Think we should? Let's do it. Just
Okay.
a quick one.
Okay.
This is a song by Richard Laviolette. He was recently, his album All Wild Things Are Shy was recently longlisted for the Polaris.
And this song was...
And the song was featured.
this song was nominated for their new music prize for the best song.
Right, and I hope it wins. I don't believe in prizes for music or contests or things like that for music, but...
Just for birds.
Only for birds.
Only for birds.
Let's be serious, people. No, I don't think music should be a competition, but if it was a competition, Richard Laviolette should win. He was a wonderful, wonderful person and a wonderful songwriter, and this song is called Constant Love. Sorry. You and your love would sing. You could play most anything. George and Tammy, Bob's the king. Nashville sound and western swing. You were a constant love, a shelter from the storms above. You were a constant love. You're in my heart and in my blood. You were a constant love, a shelter from the storms above. You were a constant love. You're in my heart and in my blood. You were a constant love, a shelter from the storms above. You were a constant love. You're in my heart and in my blood. Richard Laviolette. If you haven't heard that one before, check out his most recent album, the posthumously released All Wild Things Are Shy.
It's beautiful.
I'm going to play another song on my own.
Okay, I'm going to go outside because I think Jake and Pam and Maria will be here
Momentarily.
imminently. And I will
And then what's the plan? Are we going to
forestall the barking dog.
stall the barking dog, maybe bring them in, and they could sing a song with me?
Okay,
And
that sounds
then-
like a good transitional
Yeah,
moment.
there is a baby also involved. We'll have to figure that out.
I can hold the baby.
Okay, perfect. Aerial share it, everyone. I'm going to just move some stuff while I scramble around to think of what I'm going to do. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. The original intention of this live stream was that, Jake and Pam and Maria might play, 20 minutes or so, half an hour on their own, and then we would do 20 minutes or so together. Since this fairy debacle happened, I've been flying by the seat of my pants, but I enjoy that. And this is a song about how sometimes you can't control everything that you want to control. It's a song from the album Happy Birthday, which was the second Burning Hell record after TikTok. Also never released on vinyl. I like the way it sounds more than TikTok, but I would still love to maybe give it the Taylor's version treatment too one day. We'll see what happens. There are some things I can't control, and others remote control. These are the things I love the most. I want to show them to you before I go. What about a ground squirrel at the top of a tree? Or a blind fish at the bottom of the sea? What about a fossil on the planet Mars? Or a blinking firefly in a dirty glass jar? I love these things more than I love you. They don't need anything, they just do what they do. Have you seen the blue light of the coldest kind of snow? Have you touched the hard ground where nothing will grow? Have you shivered as you walk down the road and the street lights went out as you passed below? I love these things more than I love you. They don't need anything, they just do what they do. There are some things I can't control. That's remote control. I hear by the absence of barking that Jake and Pam and Maria are not yet arrived. So I'll play one more. Just since we were doing bird stuff. They've all been making plans for Nigel. And by they I mean the ornithologists. They live in houses made of bricks and glass. Nigel lives alone at the edge of a cliff. The bird banders fill binders and books with his biography. They note his habits and record his squawks on dictaphones. And we Meanwhile, Nigel wonders, why don't they ever ask me? I could tell them there's a difference between being lonely and being alone. The scientists published papers and secured some grants to repopulate Nigel's future neighborhood with a concrete caster named Carl. They concocted a plan, but they couldn't have predicted Nigel's commitment to bachelorhood. Called to the concrete colony by a cassette, Nigel noticed the other birds didn't fly or flap around. He remembered an old French peacock had told him hell is other birds. He thought, well, this is just the kind of place I'd like to settle down. Nigel, he felt badly for the dumb scientists. Himself, he was no bird brain, and his heart was huge. So he chose a concrete mate, and he built her a nest. He figured it was what they wanted him to do. Nigel did most of the talking, but he was used to that. Usually they just sat there and stared out to sea. When he died, Carl carved Nigel's tiny tombstone's epitaph. Here lies Nigel the Gannet, alone but never lonely. Nigel the Gannet. That song, of course, was based on a true story about a gannet that lived in a place called New Zealand. Let's see if we can find it in Ariel's school atlas from when she was very little. I think this was the last atlas that the Soviet Union was ever in. I've been looking at it recently and thinking about how there we go. How different our relationship to, that's New Zealand. That's what it looks like there. How our relationship to places around the world in maps is now. I used to love atlases and looking through them and reading what they had to say about the different countries. And speaking of this atlas, you know, this is a North American atlas, so of course it starts with North America. It's the first thing in here. And of course it starts with the United States of America. But somewhere in here, I think there'll be a map of Canada. There we go. So I'm going to show this to you. I have no idea if this will be something you can see or not, but for those of you that are unfamiliar with where we are, we're on this tiny island called Prince Edward Island, right down here, kind of at the eastern tip. And Jake and Pam and Maria started here in St. John's, Newfoundland, on the very eastern edge of Canada. And they drove all the way across down to the southwestern tip, Port aux Basques, right there. And then they took a ferry across to Sydney, North Sydney, Cape Breton, at the top of Nova Scotia. And then they drove down to Caribou, Nova Scotia, and took a ferry across to PEI. And that's when everything went wrong. When they got to the other side, that's when it all went wrong, and they got stuck on the boat. While I guess people had to like unweld the door, which is kind of scary. And I hope they're okay. I hope no one got heat stroke. And I think I hear them right now. I can hear Ruthie anyway. So I'm gonna play a song called "The Road" as as a sort of talisman, I guess, for them, in the hopes that for the rest of their travels they're okay. The band was as blue as the melted Joni Mitchell cassette. On the dash of the van they had nicknamed Regret. Touring round the United Kingdom, selling compact discs to the people of England and Wales and Scotland. It's hard to be a rock band these days. People like to spend their evenings in different ways. That's just what the band was thinking when the engine died and the lights started blinking. Their lives flashed before them in a slideshow of backstages and bars. As the van slowed down amidst the oncoming cars, they pulled over, they called for a tow. Off the road, off the road, off the road. Off the road, appearing from the mist, was a hidden oasis, aka the Scotch Corner service station. The drummer was relaxed, but the singer was panicked. Went out of the mist, except a magic mechanic. He called himself Stevie with an I and an E. He played his baton and his wrench and said, "Follow me." Hey Jake,
Hi.
how was the trip?
Arduous.
That was an amazing entrance.
But we are off the road.
You are off the road.
Finally.
So they all drove north in Stevie's wife's Fiat Panda, just a slice of the glamour of being a band. They made the show because the show was important. The sky was as damp as the cheeks of an orphan. Same rain as before, just in a different postal code. But they said at least we're back on the road. On the road. On the road. On the road. Stevie made a midnight run. Right after the gig, he drove back to Scotch Corner to fix their rig. The band panted their way. The next day south, there was a wizard with a crinkly old smile on his mouth. The van sparkled in the Yorkshire dawn. They turned to thank Stevie, but Stevie was gone. The road is a lot like the Cormac McCarthy book. Less cannibalism, but a similar look. There's nothing more post-apocalyptic than a landscape of truck stops and rock critics. To paraphrase Joni on the first track of that melted cassette, it's a lonely road, but it's not over yet. Jake Nicoll, everyone. Do you want to take over?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah?
Here we go.
All right.
We
Hi,
made
Pam.
it.
You made it. Come sit down. Come sit down. Here, Jake, you should sit in the middle there.
Alrighty.
Everyone, please welcome Jake and Pam. Is Maria coming in too?
At some point, I suppose.
Okay.
Let's see.
Maria will be here shortly.
Okay, wow. All right. Whew! Yeah, thank you, Matthias, for covering for that long. Was that fun? It sounded
It was
fun.
fun.
We were listening while we were in the car.
It was
Yeah. We were trying to think up some of our own bird trivia.
Oh yeah.
Okay, what did we think up? There is currently a bird that is, well, for the last few years, a very rare, one of the largest birds that has been hanging out in Newfoundland for the last few years. What is this bird called? What kind of bird is it? Does anyone know? One of the largest
CBN?
birds of prey in the world.
Is it no? Wait. Is it? If you're gonna, you got to give them a hint.
It starts with an S.
Good. Okay, that's a good hint.
Yeah. It has to do with the outer space, kind of.
Oh, that's a good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, here we go. I'm gonna
Take it
sing
away.
a song. I really have to pee, but I know that everyone's been here for a long time, and I'm not going to delay the music any further because, here we go. Okay, this song's called Stillness is Death. I think it's appropriate. It's a pretty new one. It's about never ever stopping. So, here we go. Stillness won't heal me, and stillness won't free all the lives in the depths of their own misery. 'Cause movement is living in this great big machine. You gotta roll with the gears, or you'll be crushed in between. If stillness is death, and I won't stop yet. I will keep running till I run out of breath. Sing me a song, give me some noise. Make it loud as you want, or subtly poised, but just keep it moving. Don't let that beat drop. I don't wanna know what happens when the music stops. If stillness is death, then I won't quit yet. I will keep strumming till I've wrecked every fret. Take it away, Maria. All this old wisdom saying quit running round, it's a death cult, turning life upside down. 'Cause life is for living, not preparing to die. You become where you've been and what you've seen with your eyes. If stillness is death, then I won't stop yet. I will keep running till I run out of breath. Nice. All right. Well, that was fun.
Well,
what do we want to try next? Say we're going to do 3 songs, so let's do Music for No One and then Galloping Horses. Sound
Okay.
good?
Yeah.
Okay. So, thanks to everyone for sticking around. It's been quite an adventure. In case you couldn't hear me while I was on the phone, the reason that we couldn't get off the ferry was that the front of the ferry, the bonnet, has a clamp that could not be undone. A woman was saying that it was made in Norway, this boat. It's a relatively new ferry, and they just didn't account for the swelling of the metal on this clamp, which seized it up and meant that the door couldn't open. So they had to take the whole clamp off.
Because it was a sweltering 25
it was a sweltering
degrees.
27 degrees out there. Oh yeah, okay, Music for No One. Why not? It's kind of appropriate here. Everybody ready? Relatively in tune? Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. He was busy making music for for no one, playing it down, keeping it fun. He didn't wanna go around asking for favors, stuck to the ground, stayed out of the sun. He's making music for no one. They say artwork needs an audience, but he would disagree. He'd sing for the birds and the cats on the street. He wasn't interested in making much money. He thought that all of the fuss meant that no one was free. He's making music for no one. He said, these days we're all advertisers, trying to make ourselves known. So what is shown? We've put wrapping paper on an empty package. There's a cart but no horse. Why would I jump on board? I'd rather walk anyway. People would have called him selfish if they knew who he was, but he wasn't around, his name had no buzz. He only really liked the creative process, the rest was a game, another high school test. He's making music for no one. He said, these days we're all advertisers, trying to make ourselves known. So what is shown? We've put wrapping paper on an empty package. There's a cart but no horse. Why would I jump on board? I'd rather walk anyways.
Oh, I hear a little screaming baby.
Alright, speaking of babies, this is a song. I'm gonna do one more song. It's
Screaming
called
baby.
Galloping Horses. And it's not too long. Hopefully Mac will be happy. There's the baby waiting for us. Probably a little bit hungry and a little cranky after being in the car for so long. I'm just gonna get right into it. Here we go. It's called Galloping Horses. It's I sort of built it around a sample of Max, our baby's heartbeat, taken through one of those fetal Doppler speakers. So here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. What is a heart but a pump made out of muscle? Blood running through the body, keep it moving, make it hustle. 3 billion beats will make a lifetime out of nothing. 3 billion beats, the pounding hooves of horses running for their lives. The sound of galloping horses. Through your veins it courses. My body and its forces. The sound of galloping horses. Horses, horses. you had felt any kicking. You had to make sure that his little heart was really ticking. There on the couch, the fetal Doppler speaker clipping blared out the tiny thunder that always reminded you of the sound of galloping horses. Through your veins it courses. A body and its forces. The sound of galloping horses. Horses, horses. Sound of galloping horses. Through your veins it courses. My body and its forces. The sound of galloping horses. Horses, 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 horses.
Should I go get the baby?
Yeah, go get the baby. All right. Okay. Well, is there anyone still there? How are things going out there?
Don't know.
Yeah, introduce
What's
the
the
live
vibe?
stream.
Might as well introduce the baby because this is really the whole
It's
point
all-
of this tour is just to introduce Mac to the world, the next
Yeah.
generation.
Also, can I just say that the viewers at home just missed like the cutest thing I've ever seen between our dog Ruthie and Jake and Pam's baby. They're best friends.
Alright, there you go. He loves dogs, like, and he loves it when a dog barks in his face.
He's crazy.
Oh, crying.
Ruthie gave him a little lick and that made him happier.
Oh.
This is the baby. Ruth.
Hi, Snurfies.
Hey, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
Sweet baby.
All right.
Can't behave like that, okay?
Here's my sweet
Well,
baby.
okay.
Yes.
How are
we
things
done?
going there?
Did we finish this?
No.
Maybe
Oh.
we haven't quite finished it.
Oh,
We could.
okay. It's still going. It's still going. Cool, cool,
This
cool.
is just the sort of rambly ending here, I guess.
Hi,
Okay,
my
I think maybe
baby.
we call this. You know, it's been like maybe almost 2 hours now. So
Baby.
thanks,
goodbye.
thanks everyone for sticking around, and this has been a lot of fun. And if anyone happens to live on the east coast of Canada, we'll be playing some shows over the next few days. So come out, and yeah. Thanks, Matthias and Ariel, for rolling with this. This has been
Yeah.
a wild
Thank
ride.
you, everybody.
Okay.
Oh.
Bye.